Hi everyone, this is Lauren coming at you with the break zone. I'm going to go over a couple of cards today that help set up the archetype that is uh, Haste Fire Aggro or Fire Mix Aggro. One of the cards being 2 drop Sage. So for 2 Fire CP, you get a backup that says when Sage enters the field, choose 1 forward, it gains haste until the end of turn. So this really helps you out in the early game. It really sets up that aggro turn where you can kind of bypass the outside issue that comes around where, oh hey, I'm gonna play a forward, and after that it's gonna stay there active for a turn, and hopefully I'll be able to swing with it next turn. One of the things that stops aggro from doing that is any active forward that's left in play for a turn. If you happen to be playing against a lightning deck, if they have the outside combo in hand, get they will out aggro you, out tempo you on with that answer. By playing Alcid, they'll get 2 forwards in play while you spend resources putting one and are kind of on the back foot at that point. After that, they might actually just build up on that advantage and kind of stabilize and go mid end game where aggro usually has issues. Um, Sage helps you kind of counter that by not allowing your opponent to respond to having a active forward by being able to attack within the first turn. You'll be able to bypass the outside issue and actually deal damage. So let's say you do a first turn Genesis with Sage, then you'll give your Genesis haste, you'll deal opponent damage and force them to discard a card, which is actually very advantageous. After that, Sage has fulfilled its role, but can still help out in terms of card economy. You can It helps you play out things like the next card I'm going to show, Goblin, or any odd numbered, oddly costed forwards, just such as uh, Setzer or Lock, or even odd costed backups such as Sid. Next card I'm going to go over is Goblin. So it's a 1 fire CP monster. Put Goblin into the break zone, choose 1 forward, you control, it gains haste until the end of turn, draw a card. So as I stated, you want to do a lot of haste. You want to get that early damage. When you're playing that heavy aggro, early aggro, you want to keep piling on the pressure. Goblin helps you do that. It also plays off with Sage, that first turn Sage if you played it. Second turn, you can use that Sage to play Goblin. Also, Goblin will replace itself in terms of cards. If you break it to give a forward haste, you'll get to draw that card. Um, One of the issues that early game aggro and haste runs into at times is running out of gas when you've spent your too many cards kind of putting on that pressure, and you get to 5-6 points of damage but you can't quite finish it off. I mean, you ran out of cards, or you didn't spend the you kind of had to waste a couple of CP here and there, like paying pitching 2 cards to play a 3 cost forward or something like that. Or in this case it could be paying 2 fire CP by discarding a card in order to play a 1 cost goblin. So for goblin it's not the worst, because even if you were to do that, you would still get a card back by uh, putting goblin in the break zone and giving one your force haste. But I mean, it's a great card. It really helps you kind of put that pressure on while actually keeping your card, getting more cards in your hand. Another card that really helps is Belias. 2 fire CP summon. EX burst on top of that. Uh, Choose 1 forward until the end of turn. It gains 1000 power, haste at first strike, draw a card. Uh, Replaces itself. Great card. EX draws your card. Uh, on top of the fact that it gives haste and plus 1000 fire and first strike. You wouldn't think that's a lot. 1000 fire and first strike is not that much, but it actually helps out a lot in some of the decks that use this card. What happens at times is that your forwards are a little bit small. I mean, we're talking about if you're playing the Ice Fire aggro, you've got Genesis at 7000 power, and you've also got Lock at 7000 power. And sometimes somebody puts down, let's say, a guy literally like guy from Opus One. 4 CP Earth forward, 8,000 power that cannot be dulled by opponents' summons or abilities, and trying to get over that with a Genesis or with a lock is actually really difficult for this type of deck. I mean, there's a couple answers. You can build your decks around it to make it happen, but it's not easy. While Belias will not just make this a trade, will actually win combat and draw you a card. It's really big. I would highly advise you to uh, utilize this card more so than some of the other two cards in the deck that relies on early pressure and that's using fire as one of its elements. Uh, so that's kind of it for this week. I also want to give a shout out though to our friends from SoCal from Meta Potion. Okimoto won the Summer Series ARG Circuit Ifrit that's hosted by Matt Cosmore. Uh, Good job, man. Like I looked at the deck, it looks a little more complicated than I had the time to kind of dig into. I'm gonna have to take it for take it for a ride before I can actually fully understand how it works. I mean, I talked to you a little bit about it, and it it worked. I mean, that Opus One Vanille with all those hackathon cares and everything like that definitely worked. And also shout out to Cal McGinty. He got top four as well at that event. I mean, I guess SoCal decided to take a trip to Vegas last week, and they did really well. So I'm gonna go over a couple decks this week. Hopefully, I'll be able to bring you some kind of explanation, kind of a deck list construction about it next week. Whether it is the Fire Ice, or it is maybe Lightning Wind, or maybe Okimoto's Ice Earth. I'll have to try to figure it out, but we'll come back at you next week. Hopefully, have a good time. I hope that you guys will be able to play at a constructed event or something like that, because I sure will. I'll see people at Aisle tonight if they come out, and take it easy and catch you next week.